This is another episode, yep, of the treasure hunting series, Another Estate Cleanup. You should see the treasures in this one. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome to my show. This is Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm host Jerry Hansen. We do these little treasure hunting series, estate cleanups. Some ask, how do I find these estate cleanups? Well, I tell you what. It's knowing people that know people, and being kind to everybody, and giving freely of yourself without any expectations, without expecting anything in return. It's just the generosity of my heart to help people. So I've been invited to do several estate cleanups, and what I end up doing is I bring them back to my homestead, and of course, like you see right here, it gets piled, then it gets sorted, reboxed, and stored on to some of the stuff that the people want to keep, so I'm helping them out. Others, they instruct me to keep it or donate it or sell it, and so for the most part, this is from this estate cleanup is some of it we're storing, some of it we're keeping, and some of it we're selling and donating. This is from two estates kind of combined into the one. An elderly gentleman and his wife lived there, and all of their belongings went into storage. They've both long since passed away, so their things were set aside and stored. They have no heirs, so there's, what do you do with them? And then the other person who actually owns the estate that's being sold is it's that her stuff is being stored here for an indefinite period of time. So let's go through and I'll show you the artifacts from this elderly gentleman's home. Oh my gosh, these are memories. I had the pleasure of meeting this man. His wife I never met. She died some years previous to us meeting him. But we had the pleasure of knowing him and developing a friendship with him. And these are his things. I'll have to break this down in 2 episodes because there's so much to show you that I thought was valuable to preserve some of his posterity and his wife's posterity through my show. So let's take a look. Here's Charlie's ice skates. They would make a wonderful Christmas decor. Vintage ice skates. Here's a coffee cup that, yes, was actually made in the USA. Yes, they did make coffee cups and other things in the US. That's a little bronze horse bank. The key is sitting in the saddle area where the slot is. The photograph is Charlie Brennan and his wife. I assumed this antique chair actually goes with this desk. This is a built for a typewriter desk. This is the original computer, kids. This is how they did it. That computer or that typewriter is an oldie. And of course, I found this old book right there, 1930s, I think is when it was published. And of course, this old oil lamp. The typewriter is put away. What comes out carefully slid down. And this desk becomes a writing table. The book is 1937, Wonders of the Past. And then there's this vintage old rocking chair. Now Charlie was a leather, he did a lot of leather works. And here is a leather vest that Charlie had made. That is so cool. Clean this up and I have a Charlie Brennan original. But I also found this among his belongings. I don't know too much about knives, but this looks like something really good to take with you when you go hunting. And what it says here, it says Griffin Special Alloy. I don't know if you knife aficionados know anything about knives. I don't, but yeah, that was included in the package. Treasures. There's more. There's this beautiful oak framed beveled mirror. And Edna's sewing kit. Let's see what's in her. Typical sewing stuff. Bobbins. Yep, nothing down there. But she's got just her basic sewing gear. And a state-of-the-art Singer sewing machine, foot powered. It has no belt, but man, what an antique. I think this is genuinely an antique instead of vintage. This is old. I was handling it with very tender care. Now the drawers do offer some surprises. This drawer was all busted up. I managed to glue it back together. And so it has places for holding different items. This drawer has a box for different sewing machine attachments. So this lady, the lady of the house, could do everything required of sewing with different stitches. Oh, this drawer has a couple of items in it. Ooh, have to remove the drawer to get them out. This has attachments. It looks like a pleater that makes pleats when you sew it, and all kinds of other different little attachments. And this one is a zigzagger. Look at that. Never used, brand new Singer zigzagger attachment. See, it has the zigzag there, and you put these other little wheels in there, and it does that, and it does little stitch like that, little stitch like that. Anyone who knows about sewing machines, let me know how much you think this whole set is worth, because this is truly a priceless find. An old hairbrush. empty drawer to put that. And I think I found something that is not being manufactured anymore. I may be wrong, but I know that under the Obama era, these 100-watt incandescent light bulbs were banned, so they don't make them anymore. So I've got a whole box of these light bulbs, 75 watt, a lot of 100 watts, 75 watts, three-way light bulbs. I've got 150 watts, all incandescent in this box. Okay, now art. This is up my alley. C.A. Kincaid. I do not see a year on this. It's a watercolor in a convex glass gilded frame. It's oval. This is the back. The back paper coating has since rotted off. This is an old piece of cardboard. Something Radiator Company, Denver, Colorado. These folks were from Denver originally, but now look at that. I clean this up and put a little shine on the glass. This is beautiful. I personally like things like this. Few knickknacks. Charlie was a horseman, so he loved his horses. This is a plaster of Paris statue. He also loved dogs. This is an ashtray of a German Shepherd. And then here is another statue, plaster of Paris, of another dog. And then this is metal. I think this is bronze, some kind of metal. It's a horse and it's missing something from its mouth. Not sure what that is, but it mounts. I don't know if it was a bell or it's a doorknob. This is kind of cool. And then I've got another oil lamp. This is, I don't know how old this is. Yeah, I don't know how old this is, what it's worth. It's green glass. And I found a Christmas salt shaker. Yeah, no salt in it, but look where this was made. Made in China. Deer jumping through the forest. And now we got this little wicker basket. This is kind of pretty. It's got a couple of things in it. I found this cool whistle with a chain. Maybe for Charlie to... No, it's military. It's military. So Charlie was in the military. We'll get to that, those artifacts in a minute. I know there's a lot of military artifact collectors. This is made in England. I think this is a, yeah, it's a whistle. I'm not going to put my lips on there. And then here is a really pretty compact. It's got makeup in it. Hang on a sec. Let me put this down. It's metal. It's golden color. And it's a little compact. Yeah. It's got some kind of powder dust in there and a lid and a Elkwin American. You guys know anything about these? Let me know in the comments. I'm interested. And look what I found. This is leather. At least I think it's leather or rubber. I think it's rubber. This is kind of a cool top, but it is Warner Western Fragrance Incorporated. Cologne. Chaps, Ralph Lauren. Oh, I like that. Very, very manly smelling. Smells perfumey, but you know, I think a guy should smell more like a musty saddle or a greasy car engine. We're guys, what do you expect? And then there's this eagle figurine in really good condition, and it's more current, made in Taiwan, Royal Heritage, Americana Birds in Flight Collection. That's kind of cool. Very patriotic. Okay, let me show you some really cool artifacts. So there's this vintage suitcase here, and let me show you what is in this vintage suitcase. Still in good condition. So that's nothing. This is pretty. It's a print though, it's not original. Oh, this is a cool frame. I think this is Edna as a younger lady with color added. Very pretty. And then they've got a bunch of plaques that they've collected on their journeys as a couple traveling around. Here's another print. You guys are seeing this for the first time as well as I. This is cool. Still wrapped in plastic, but it's more current. Oh, now we're getting down. Oh, the glass is broke. But here's Charlie. I love old vintage photographs. The glass has gone out of this one. This was in there. Amen. Okay, here is an original painting. 1940. It's oil on board. Yeah, it is oil on board. Simple frame. Dated 1940, and I could barely make out the name. I hope you guys can see that name. Let me do the best I can at reading it. It looks like it's Rich Aspen or Apin? Huh. But it's desert scene, guy on a horse, and Charlie was definitely a horseman. Who knows? This is maybe where $1 million picture is. This is a print. Oh my God. Look at this. Look at the print. That is titled In from the Night Herd. And this (1941), I think. It looks like it's Frederick Remington is the artist. Here is, no, I was wrong. 1912. There's the label on the back. This thing is an antique. What makes this as an antique is that it's over 100 years old. I looked it up. Antiques are 100 years and older. Vintage is up to 100 years. An antique can be vintage or antique, but vintage cannot be antique. That's how they explained it. But this could have a lot of value. I'm going to look this up and see what I can find. Let me know if any of you artists or art appraisers know anything about this. Please leave a comment in the description. Some of this stuff may be for sale. We'll see. This is a very interesting picture. R. Farrington Elwell. It's just a print, but I don't know if you could see it. The print is bubbled out. I mean, it's just like, there's the horse. It's raised, and the cowboy. That is fascinating how they did that. That's very interesting. I don't know the year. Oh. It has some writing right down here in the corner. Anyway, that's the this is the artist, and this is a print. Don't know what that brings. Oh yes, the Lord and the Children. Yes. I wonder what that is on. That's interesting. There's still a few more items in here. That is just a frame. Oh my God. This frame has deteriorated. It's coming apart. And it's holding a... Trying to see if it's a print or it's a print. Okay, this is another print. And there's the artist. J. Robbie. Oh. I wonder if Charlie Brennan knew the artist. Look what I just found. It's Frederick Remington. It's a duplicate print. And I don't know if it's numbered. But Charlie has two of these prints. That's interesting. Oh my word. Oh my word. No way. I don't know the title of this, but here is another Frederick Remington Western print. Oh my word. Okay. Daredevil Fun is what this is titled, and it's from Goldbrings, 1908. It's a print. And there's the title. And there's the artist. I've got to do something about better preservation of this stuff. Some of it I feel like I should be handling it with gloves. A print glued to a board. There's the print. Like I said, you guys are looking at this for the first time along with me. I don't see an artist's monogram on that. More Western Art. W.R. Lay. This is titled In a Bad Fix. And there's the author, or the artist right there, his signature. And it's copyrighted 1927 by Pictorial Review, courtesy Babcock Galleries, New York. Painted by W.R. Lay. So that is a print. So, oh dear. Trouble with Sheriff. Same artist. Wow. Same artist. Copyrighted 1927. And this is titled The Stampede. These are prints on paper. I think a Western artist would love these. Or a Western art collector would love this. This is damaged. This is a print by Philip Goodwin. Copyright. Doesn't give a year on it. But I don't see a title. Yeah, I don't see a title, but this is it. Another print. My. Okay, wow. Okay, the shepherd rescuing the lost sheep. I love these things. Love these things. Drowsy Water Ranch, Hot Sulphur Springs, Colorado. And it's a little pamphlet talking about the Hot Sulphur Springs in Colorado. I don't know what year this is, but this is cool. An old newspaper. I love old newspapers. This is not that old. What? The Denver Post, July 28th, 1981. Don't know what he was saving on this paper. Yeah. Haha. Well, anyway, here's some of the headlines to be seen. I love old newspapers. A lot of history in them. I think back when, for the most part, it's news was not fake news. But I can see it's still political. They still have their agenda. Anyway, we're going to put all this stuff away. Got a couple of other things to show you. Yeah, I got a couple of other things to show you. Look at this old steamer trunk. Let's see what's in it. Okay. Oh. This is kind of cool. And a blanket. Nothing else. That's it that's in this trunk. But the steamer's trunk has that smell that is of old. I love that smell. I love that smell. Wow. Okay, I may have a little something for everybody. Right here, I have a baseball and a bat. How about that? Don't know the year. This Louisville Slugger, it's probably current. The ball's probably current. I don't see any autographs on it, but it's been well played with. A kid had a lot of enjoyment with this. I thought this was interesting. Let's see. Let me get this on right. Okay, it goes over my head, around my shoulder. You fill it up with seed. I don't even have it on right. Anyway, you spread your seed. It's a nice little seed spreader. Little Giant. There's a label on it. Here's the label. Cool. And I found this vintage lunchbox. And in this vintage lunchbox, drills. Drills. Or drill bits. Made in USA planer. Stanley. This is newer. This is not vintage, but that's cool. And I know this is vintage. I know some of you tool collectors are probably drooling at this right now. Those of you who don't know what this is a larger form of what that other one is I just showed you. It's a planer. This is the blade. And the blade says Auburn something again. Can't read it. Anyway, there's the label on the blade. That's vintage. Yeah, we'll set that aside. Let's see. I don't have anything else. I'm sorry, I do. There's some more artifacts. Let me show you those. I have to open this steamer trunk to get to them. This sucker is beautiful. It's all covered in metal. Okay. I've already been through this, so I know what it's in it and what to expect, but there's the inside of it. That is cool. Okay, it has this beautiful comforter, and look at the design on this comforter. That is really pretty. This is Downizer, Montgomery Ward. Oh my god. Feather pillow. And a gas mask. Lot. Look at 1942. Let's see. Normal. It's branded normal, I guess, for normal size. There's a stamp, and here's a stamp. Here's some more verbiage. So, you vintage war collector thingies of thingies, let me know down in the description more about this piece. It's interesting. Um, Here is an old notebook. Property, Air Force, U.S. Army. Oh, wow. Okay, now we're getting into something. So, apparently Charlie was using it to keep track of his expenditures. There's some of his expenditures as an example. I'm not going to go through the whole book, but that's some of his expenditures. Now, Department of the Army, United States of America. This tells me a little bit more about my friend, a little bit more than I was aware of. So, Charlie retired from apparently the military. And it says, on the occasion of your retirement, I wish to extend to you my personal thanks and appreciation of the United States Army for the many years of service which you have given to our country. And so on and so forth. This Jack L. Sauer, Colonel, ORDC Commanding. And then here is Department of the Army Certificate of Retirement awarded to Charlie Brennan. And in recognition of retirement from the federal service under provisions of the Civil Service Retirement Act. March 18th, 1980 is when Charlie retired. Huh. He was fairly old when he retired. There's another artifact in here. It's a wool army blanket. Those are warm. And look at this, folks. This is what I love. Saturday, May 5th, 1951. Check that out. Allied troops make advance after battle. Seattle gives Korea vets big welcome. Max says U.S. strong enough to whip China. No drain needed on other fronts. Grave crisis, pipe breaks. And that was Washington State. 2 city strikes near solution. They were striking back then. Short lull broken. Battle of Jordan again rages. Israel-Syrian frontier. Oh, that'd be an interesting read. Austria to elect a president on Sunday. And I always like looking at the one end. Here's another part of that paper. Oh, the prices of homes. Check these out. Large 2-bedroom with basement and a good start on a party room. Living room, dining room, combination with fireplace and paneling. Exceptionally large kitchen and closets to spare. $14,950. But can you imagine what the pay was back then? Well, we don't have to imagine. We can actually go right here and see what people were getting paid. Help wanted. Let's see what they're paying people. Oh, here's domestic help wanted. Woman for housework. Auto, dishwasher, washer, ironer, etc. Permanent position. Private room. $60 A month. Oh, you can get paid a little bit more. Experienced cook and housekeeper for $25 per week. A family of 4, 2 children. Private room included. So I carefully put all this stuff back and yeah, close the chest up. This is a beautiful chest. I wonder what it would look like all cleaned up. Not necessarily polished, but just cleaned. It's beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. Well, that's it for this episode. There's still a lot more to go through, some more of Charlie's artifacts. There's some other special treasures to share with you guys. So stay tuned for that episode. I'm taking my time going through it because I've got to be careful with a lot of these items. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. This is Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. We're a small homestead tucked in the Cascade Ranges of the Pacific Northwest. I want to thank you guys for joining me on these treasure hunting series. Be sure to check out all the previous episodes. Hey, there's a lot of neat stuff I've acquired and gifted, and there's an episode coming up that I actually get to pay it forward and gift somebody with this stuff. And so stay tuned for that. Please subscribe, click that bell icon that alerts you to new videos as I upload them. Another thing you can do is click that share button. Sharing my videos on your social media platforms helps out the channel a lot. Also, please leave a comment if you would, like the channel, give that thumbs up, and that helps out the channel greatly. Check out those links down below. That gives you some ideas on how I developed my homestead. So we'll see you guys in the next episode. I'm working on it right now. Be safe, and yes, always be kind. Bye-bye.